Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, and welcome to today's Craft Cafe live show with your host, Latoya Riggins. Hi, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited for today, you guys. We are here. Welcome to November. This is my birthday month, so I'm really excited. Woo! Shout out to the Scorpios and the Sagittarians. I'm so excited to be here, you guys. I call this holiday roll, which means that once the holidays like Halloween and everything starts to slide in, you will have nonstop holidays and it slides you all the way into the new year. So what we're doing today is we're going to be here talking with our very own craft representative for well ADP representative for craft. I would say craft's very own. ADP representative, we have our very own Trevor Allen in the building. He's on his way to New York, my hometown. So he's still coming to you live. He's in the car. He's road tripping. So hopefully they're not road raging. Y'all be safe on the road. But he's going to be in here with us today talking about the end of the year wrap up, you guys, for your early childhood education business. Now, we're going to get started in just a moment. We got a few people coming on. I see you guys coming in. So those of you who are on here, now guess what? We are live to Facebook. So those of you who are watching from home, I'm going to pull this up on my phone so that I can pin it and tag it in here and share it out. So you guys that are watching from home, hey, definitely remember to put your questions in the chat, whether you are in at home watching from Facebook, or if you're here, you can just shout it out. But I want to go around and really introduce what it is we're doing here. Yes, more people. Okay. Now, first up, let me introduce what craft is for those of you who are watching for the first time. I am your host of all things craft, Latoya Riggins. And what craft is our online business and professional development platform specifically designed for early childhood education business leaders, you guys. We work with you guys to make sure that not only are you having a great time with what you're doing, but you are taking your business seriously. Because one thing we talk about on craft is having a profitable business, because we believe if you're not making money, then it is not a business. And you guys are definitely making money. So we want to make sure that not only are you taking yourself seriously as a business, but you're putting things in place to really take your business to the next level. And we tell everybody, we are not ashamed to say profit is not a bad word. We want to make sure that we are growing in revenue. We look for businesses in this industry to make between 18 and 40% profit, you guys. But how do we do that? With systems, you guys, systems in place, and having the experts right next to you, hand holding you, letting you know, hey, this is how the big wigs are doing it. These big corporations that are making money constantly, they're using ADP, you guys. They're not nickel and diamond on their little notebooks in the back of an envelope, scribble. You know what I mean? They're using systems and they're putting in place. So we have partnered, you guys, with ADP. They're in 170 countries, you guys. They do so much, and they have something for everybody. I'm not gonna do the whole spiel because I have somebody in here that can do it, but I just wanted to tell you what I love about what they're doing with our industry, you guys, because a lot of times everybody knows that holding on to your employees, hiring great employees, finding great employees, keeping them is I'm telling you, it's a struggle these days. It's always been a struggle, but it's even more so now. And one of the ways to really push your business forward and support your employees is to have those systems in place, have those special benefits for them, and have those packages so that they have a one-stop shop and they are able to feel secure with their business because you have it under control. All right. So without further ado, you guys, I want to introduce our very own Trevor Allen. Hey, Trevor.
Hello, good afternoon from where I am, but morning to some. And I could not have asked for a better host, a better partnership, and a better day. Even though it's a little raining here on the East Coast, but yeah, thank you very much for the time today. As Latoya mentioned, give a little background on ADP, specifically what I wanted to talk with you all today are end of year preparations, whether it be a summation of what you've done this calendar year, whether it be looking into 2024, looking for things to do differently, maybe improve upon what you've done this year, or maybe you're gonna learn some stuff that I'll touch on today that you didn't even think applied to you, right? So this would be very conversational. Feel free to throw a question in the chat. Feel free to I don't know if this has raise hand functionality or what have you, but Latoya do a good job of fielding those as I go through, and I'm privileged enough to be partnered with Craft and Better Futures to not only give the information that ADP has by paying 1 in 5 Americans. We have access to a number of different analytics that the Department of Labor even uses for their trends, and the U.S. government use for their unemployment statistics and things like that. We're privileged enough to have that data to give to you all in the form of education, but also in the industry you all are in. Is you're doing, for lack of a better term, the Lord's work, and a lot of times that can go the business side of it can go underappreciated. Let's say that. So I'm here to help for anything, any questions you have. Could be on topic, off topic. Just let me know. I'm here as an extension of ADP to be of any assistance whatsoever.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trevor, for that. Before we get into the checklist, I wanted to go around and give you guys a chance to introduce yourself, where you're calling in from, and how'd you get here? How'd you hear about the Craft Cafe? So let's see. First one in, Rebecca Washington. Are you able to come on camera and introduce yourself, hon?
Hello. Hi, Latoya.
How are you, Rebecca? Good to see you again.
I know. I'm good. I'm Rebecca Washington. I'm a licensed family child care provider in Woodbridge, Virginia. I am a member of Better Future. So that's how I heard about the craft event.
All right. Now tell us how many years you've been in business?
I've been in business for almost 40 years.
40 years.
Yes.
And Rebecca, I hope that you've been seeing your face all over the internet, because your testimonial has been everywhere. From the not the Craft Cafe Live, from the live Wave Boot Camp, you guys. We did a live Wave Boot Camp in Virginia with the Virginia Association of Family Child Care. Okay, association.
The Virginia Alliance Family Child Care Association.
A lot of acronyms. I'm so sorry. I was like, did I mess that up? Yeah, she has it. And she did a great testimonial. She was a part of that day. She was actually one of the students in the class, a participant. So I'm going to shout you out. I don't know how you didn't get to see it, but it's all over the place. People have been loving it. So one thing that you said in that testimonial, Rebecca, that stood out to a lot of people, that I got a lot of comments on, was you said that you found out today that you could pay yourself, even though you was told you could not. People were outraged with that, Rebecca. They were like, what? Who told her that? Who told her that? And I was like, hey, I
didn't. Believe it or not, yes, the person that has been doing my taxes for over 20 years told me that I could not pay myself because I am the owner of the business. See? And I now use, also, just to give a shout out, I do use ADP for my payroll because I have one person employed. So
perfect. Well, welcome to the gang, man. You already in the gang, but welcome to the ADP gang and the gang of us that are moving towards that. And I'm so excited. I want to keep going around. We got another all-star in the building. Thank you, Rebecca, for that. And thank you for being a craft member.
Wonderful.
I want to spin it all the way around to Miss Mercedes Fleet. She had a question in the chat. And just to give you a quick background on her, she has been featured on the Craft Cafe because she is who I have nicknamed the Quiet Storm, you guys, because you don't see her in action, but you see all that she produces. She's from Philly. She's making waves. She's doing so many different community events. I see her collaborating with other members. She's a part of Quip. Let you introduce yourself, Mercedes. I just get so excited because I love you some Mercedes. Come on in here, girl.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mercedes Fleet, owner and director of Bright Little Scholars Early Learning Centers. We have 3 locations in the northeast section of Philadelphia.
And how many years you been in business?
We opened our first group location during the pandemic, August of 2020.
Wow. And you're on 4 locations right now?
We're on number 3.
You're on number 3. Okay, I thought you was on to 4, but that's coming up. It's coming up next. Let me not ruin it. Well, as y'all can see, those of you watching from home, yeah, we got some heavy hitters on the line and craft members. We're gonna get into your question though, Mercedes, because that's the reason why we're here. Okay, so we're excited to have you. All right, we're gonna swing on down. Linda Stroman. Linda, are you able to come on? Because see, you guys, I was asked because some people just tune in to listen, but if you could come on. Oh, there she is.
There she
Hey,
is.
Linda, how you doing? Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Linda Stroman. I have the pleasure of actually being a partner with Craft and Better Futures. I've worked in the past as a consultant, so I've been able to help some of the early child care centers do their thing as far as the HR and just kind of be working some things. So I'm proud to be connected with LaToya, who I've known for a while, and all the wonderful folks that are with Craft and Better Futures. So I'm looking forward to connecting with folks down the line.
Thank you for being here, Linda. And Linda, she is another, I call her the poker face because you can't break her. She's always calm, cool, and collected. Like, I'm silly, so, I can't keep a straight face for too long, but she can do it. But Linda is definitely our premier HR department. I'm telling you, she has a huge background. We've worked together, like she said, we go way back. So I'm so excited to have you in the building, Linda. So shout out to you. Come on in here. All right. Let's see who else we got on the line. Let's see. Who is this? We have Nat. It's coming up, Nat. Let's see, Nat. Can you come on in? Is it Natalie? Is that Natalie?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Natalie Delagal. I have a family daycare in West Philadelphia. And I've been in business 37 years.
Congratulations. And how'd you hear about the Craft Cafe?
Through Quip.
Through Quip. Okay. Shout out to Quip.
Yeah, through.
Shout out to Quip and all the people over there in that organization. We love Quip. Shout out to Adrian Briggs and Diane Gardner, the whole team over there. And Mercedes is a part of Quip as well. So Quip is dope, I'm telling you. So yeah, they're out of Philly, you guys. They represent Philadelphia, so you already know. I think y'all do other cities too, or just Philadelphia. But I know that's where all y'all from, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. That's like my cousin town, because all my cousins live in Philadelphia, because I'm from New York. So, Philly, New York, and then DC, we're all everywhere. And that's where Trevor's going. So we're going to get into what he's doing too. All right, let's keep it moving around. Thank you, Nat, for coming through today. All right.
You're welcome.
Let's swing it on around. We have Lynette. Lynette, are you able to come on and introduce yourself? Now, sometimes this is during the day, people. So sometimes people are working and they can't quite come on, so they're just listening. But I always want to shout them out. So Lynette V. Green, if you could come on in, let us know. But we're going to swing back around to you. So when you can, just pop on in, okay? All right, we have Abigail's Otters in here, which Abigail, she is one of our craft members. She's definitely one of my favorite craft members. She has this big personality. She's in Philly as well. She has a family child care center out in Philly, and that's her. She has an otter in there, and that's another technology that people use to go ahead and get the most out of a meeting, even if they can't really be present. You know what I mean? So she's using technology, you guys, to grow her business and really be present in different places. So let's see, we got one more person in here. Okay, Clara. Hi, Clara. Are you able to come on and say hi? We have Clara Bushwoods in here. Let's see if she can come on. All right. Now, like I said, I was trying to give a few minutes because, you got to get it together. Now, most of you guys are still running your centers right now when we're doing this, but it's usually like around nap time right now. So Clara and Lynette, we're going to come back to you. She's working. Yep, I figured that. Thank you for still tuning in, Clara. So we're going to go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of what today is about. I'm super excited because, as y'all know, even though I don't have a family child care center, I do have a small business. I'm an entrepreneur, so I need to know this stuff too. So Trevor, we had a question in the chat. And Mercedes, I'm gonna need you to pop on this because I know you have a lot of experience with this, and I want to get those questions answered, especially while we have Trevor in the building, so he can really speak to those things. So Trevor, she said that she's had ADP, and she doesn't feel like they're equipped for small businesses. What's your take on that?
Yeah, and that's a very valid criticism, for people. Us being an industry leader, right? So I mean, a lot of times when people think ADP, though I'm not there yet. They, like I said, for example, we do payroll for the Bank of America, the IRS. We're in 170 plus countries. We do the payroll for 1 in 5 Americans. So a lot of small businesses, they may hear about, like, we might be the biggest brand recognition. So what could happen in that situation is when you first started off, don't necessarily have consistent work, or maybe anyone at all. You can call 1-800-ADP and they may quote you at book price. And I will say that's something that we're always improving, is how to be better for our small business owners, because at the end of the day, they're the backbone of the country. I am fortunate enough to go to the Small Business Administration Conference in DC this year, so I got to see them firsthand, and I work with them day in and day out. So that is one particular scenario. What I will say is, me being a direct partner to Craft, me being a direct partner to, the clients I have existing already, I have a lot of leeway when it comes to the pricing. Now, price is typically what most people mean when they're like, "Oh, ADP isn't for small business," right? That's 8 times out of 10. Yeah. That's what they're referring to. And as I mentioned, if you call in 1-800-ADP, hey, I need a price on 2 employees paid every month, you might get some hey, we have this promotion going on right now, but you're typically getting book price, right? To be frank with y'all, I don't think I've ever given book price to anybody in my entire career at ADP. Maybe because my dad owned a small business. I don't know. Maybe I have a special affinity towards what you guys go through. But at the end of the day, when it comes to pricing, we're always improving on making that better for our small businesses. I'll be the first one to tell you, if you have a better option out there, something that better suits your business, let's have a conversation about it. Like those weigh the pros and cons. That being said, we have competitors who will price themselves as a small business champion. For example, maybe Gusto or QuickBooks, maybe even Paychex, right? They build their business model as, small business friendly, champion to the smaller businesses. Say owner only, one to 5 employees, where most of the business I meet with are 1 to 15 respectively. Whether employees, contractors, or a mix of both. What I'd say in rebuttal to that, say if you got a price $50 a month with us versus $30 with Augusto, you kind of have to look at the track record and what you're getting, right? Customer service is a big thing. Mm-hmm. Do you have a direct point of contact? Someone who's a real person, someone's cell phone number, you have someone's face you see on camera. Are you talking to the same person every time you have an issue? Are you having issues, right? Sometimes we'll see some of these smaller competitors, and I can say that because that's a fact. But some things you'll see, some of the smaller competitors have better pricing, but they might have something called honeymoon pricing, right? After a year or 2 years, you go back in your invoice. Hey, I thought my business hasn't changed too much. I was paying $30 a month, now I'm paying $70. What changed in 2 years, right? Yeah. So those are things on the back end to consider, and that's some things. Sometimes you won't see that until you maybe go to the other side of the lawn. And I'm happy to have a longer discussion, Mercedes. But I mean, if you wanted to elaborate more of kind of what you've experienced, what your experience was, trust me, I have an answer to everything. My parents and my managers hate that, but.
That's a good question. Mercedes, did you want to pose anything like something specific that you had a question about? Because I love to, we got to talk about these things because these are real concerns. And Mercedes has quite a few businesses. So I'm sure that, and she has employees. So I'm sure that she has to, figure out what's best for her business. So having those questions, you guys, will help us to shape will help us help ADP to shape those programs to make it great for what you guys are doing. One thing that I love that I heard about the services that we've been doing between our members and ADP is the single member, because that's why I led with that with Rebecca, talking about being able to pay herself. And that's something I struggle with too. I have consultants, but I pretty much pay them invoice wise. So those are things that I would like to streamline. And when it comes to paying yourself, you know what I mean? What does that look like from a ADP standpoint? You know what I mean? Like, how are you guys putting together packages for like that person, like a family child care provider that doesn't have any employees, but they still want to be in compliance with their taxes. They still want to get to the benefits. They still want to pay themselves in a way where they have something to pretty much show for it. You know what I mean? And the taxes be already kind of taken out.
Yeah, and I mean that's the reason our company exists now and has existed for 75 plus years. One thing you understand, you especially in my experience dealing with ECE so far with our partnership, is that you guys give your all to what you do, and the business sometimes can take a back burner for that, because you're giving so much of your effort and so much of your heart to the children. The reason our company exists is that we take that off of your plate. We take that burden away from you. Now, I mentioned this before, and I'll continue to mention it. You have options when it comes to payroll tax filing, liability, compliance, things like that, right? A lot of times the easy option is going through an accountant that's already doing, or a bookkeeper and accountant that's doing your business filings already. Maybe they're even doing advisory things for you for the business, and you're already paying them. Sometimes you'll have them bundle services in. That's for some people that works great. A lot of times accountant CPAs really despise doing those kind of jobs because they're kind of on the hook, and it's extra work for them. And also on the liability side, if they do something late, if they mess up, if they get sick, those filings still need to be filed on time, and they need to be calculated correctly.
That's true.
That's a pro and con, right?
Yeah.
The reason that we have so many over 1 million clients worldwide is that we do the filings automatically for you. We calculate the filings automatically for you. We make it extremely easy, no matter whether you can be the most tax savvy person or you can call in your payroll every month and still get things delivered via paper or check, or have your forms sent to you every week. We from as minimal as that, you kind of do.
It's breaking up a little bit.
Back they were doing the 80s, 90s, all the way up to having a multi.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So we have a lot of technological things, but to answer your question plainly, when it comes to payroll, especially when you have employees and contractors, it makes that an added level of things that you have to learn, have to deal with, and have to be consistent with. On top of everything else, like I said, and the children themselves are a handful of what I've experienced. And then you have, the parents and everything like that, and the programs that you have in the business itself. That's where we want you to be spending your time, not having to, I have this notice from the state. I have to make sure this is filed on time. This employee, it wants to change their bank account number. How do I do that? Right. Those are all things we before you make and automate for you. Like I said, whatever level of technological savvy you have, we can accommodate. And also in the customer service piece, you're always going to have someone that you can talk to, and always going to have that extra support, especially going through craft, and myself. That's the biggest thing we can differentiate ourselves from. So I know that kind of sounded sales-y, but I had to get into that that mindset just because that is an objection, a common one that we get, but something I'm happily able to answer. And especially once people come on board, it's not just talk.
Right. And you're right. That's why I want to get into this list, because at the end of the day, people are, gonna have questions, and that's a great thing. And that's, like I said, that's why I love questions. So without further ado, let's get into this checklist, because one thing, like you said, all of those things that you have to do by the end of the year, these dates and everything. I know me, I get overwhelmed. I have the worst tax anxiety. I always feel like I'm gonna forget something. And then after they sent Martha Stewart to jail, I've been scared. I'm like, wow, they're gonna get her out of here. I can't play around, So I'm excited to hear about what should business owners, small business owners be doing. What are the things they should be looking out for, the things they should be checking on? Let's go through that, because that's where we're here. Let's get this end of the year checklist going. I got my pen. All right, let's see. So first up, what would you say? Let's throw one out there. I don't, in no particular order though, Trevor. You know what I mean? So what are some common things that people miss that you guys can pick up the slack on, that, just those kind of things? Let's go.
Yeah, and I guess I have a visual aid if anybody wants to see it, but I'll be hopping around there a little bit. I might be cutting in and out.
You want me to share? I can share. Or you don't need it.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to share just for visual, and I can I'll be kind of hopping around that list, because some things apply to some people, some things don't.
Okay, well, I'll send it out later. You don't have to see it then. You go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was taking the biggest thing. So I've touched on three really big things, and just some disclaimers. This will be centered around, obviously it'll be touching on some payroll things. There'll be some end of the year typical business type of things to look out for. And I'm at no stretch of the imagination a bookkeeper or a CPA, but since a lot of these things go hand in hand, I do have some knowledge and some industry experience in these end of the year things. Whether it be, as I mentioned before, you're looking to consolidate things this calendar year, or looking to start things fresh January 1st for next year, I think these are very timely. So first and foremost, and I know we've alluded to this before, but paying yourself, right? For those business owners that are structured as an S Corp, you are mandated by the government to pay yourself what's called a reasonable salary, a reasonable amount. Now, what that is, there's some great, you're looking to pay yourself something that would be industry standard for the work that you've done in a position like yours. So S Corps, if you're structured as an S Corp, you are required to have a payroll. Now, how you do that is completely up to you. Now, ADP, we do annual S Corp payrolls all the time. Won't cost you much. We'll do the filing for you, and kind of have that off your plate. I know a lot of accountants do S Corps. They, as I mentioned before, at least I speak to a lot of accountants during the end of the year, beginning of the year. Just kind of comes with the territory, and they always have something to complain about. But the S Corps are top of the list a lot of times. So that's one big thing. I want to see if anybody had any questions regarding that, because okay. So Miss Hill Brunson, yeah, as an S Corp, and feel free to fact check anything I'm saying with your tax professional or online. But as an S Corp, you are required to. You can't just take owner's draws or anything like that. You are required to pay yourself a salary. Now, like I said, what number that could be is it has to be considered reasonable. Within ADP, we have something called compensation benchmarking, whereas we use our analytics to type in a position and a place in a specific state, specific part of the state, and in a specific role, and kind of give an average of what people are paying themselves around the country, or people are making around the country. And I'm more than happy to do that for anybody. Use our system to kind of go in and look into that stuff. But that's the first big thing. Even if you're not an S Corp, you can also pay yourself, what we call it monthly, or whatever regular pay schedule you have for any employers or contractors. You're also, no matter how you your business, everything except for a sole prop, a payroll.
Trevor, can you say that last part?
That's the biggest thing to look at.
You were blinking out.
Yeah, so I mean, no matter how you no matter how you structure
Trevor, hold on. You're going.
your
I don't
business, everything except for a sole proprietorship can
Trevor, are
and
you
I'm
frozen?
still
You're going in and out. Can you hear me,
with
Trevor?
you guys. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. I can hear you, but it was choppy a little bit. Tamika, did you hear
Yeah,
us?
I apologize. We're in. I'm in. I'm in Delaware now.
Oh
And
goodness, it was fine in Maryland. Now Delaware
we're
chopping
going
us
over a
up.
bridge.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. Trevor is traveling and he's going over a bridge, and y'all know how that weather pattern happens.
I can hear you guys perfectly now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound better. Okay, because it was
Okay.
fine. It just started going screwed. I
Yeah,
was like, oh no.
I personally think those big trucks, all the equipment and the radio and stuff like that messes up everything. But that's my personal opinion.
It
Shout out to
blocks.
all our CDL drivers out there.
All right, now I need you to go back because we were talking about S corps. Now Tamika here is she is an S corp because I asked because I don't have an S corp, I have an LLC, and I know a lot of the providers are LLCs. Some people are, sole proprietors. But I'm glad that you spoke to the S corp because I don't know who here is an S corp other than Tamika, but we need to know those different levels. But you was going out on that portion of it because you went into S corps, then sole proprietors, and then it went out. So can you just go back to after S corps? I think you're frozen, Trevor.
Basically, we started chopping up when I have
Okay, well, Trevor, yeah, turn up your camera.
I mean, can you hear me? Can you still hear me though, Latoya?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
that's it. All right, as long as that's the biggest thing. All right, so basically, if I cut out after episode, and I apologize again for the technical difficulties, but basically, I was saying that you can pay yourself as any business structure, however you structured your business, as long as anything except for a sole proprietor.
So a sole proprietor, you can't pay yourself.
Oh shit. Really account because as a sole proprietor, all the profits you kind of go one direction. There's you're not structured to you're not you don't have, like you don't necessarily have an EIN number as a sole prop.
Oh, okay. That's why you don't. Okay, so you don't have to pay yourself. So that's the one thing. So what's the next thing with that? So the first thing is the checklist to pay yourself. So what do you need to have in place when you're paying yourself? Is that part of the payroll? You just count yourself as one of the employees, or is it a specific type of payroll you need when it's just you? And
Yeah,
this
so
me
as an owner only, you pay yourself as a W-2.
Okay, and doesn't matter how much you pay yourself. Can you pay? Do you have to pay yourself hourly? Can you pay yourself like a percentage? Like how does it work? Because I'm not sure, guys. I'm asking for me too.
I'm back.
Did you hear my question, Trevor?
Yes. So basically repeat your question. You're just like, do you need anything special to pay
Yeah,
yourself as a business owner?
yeah. What exactly? What do you need to
Gotcha.
do if you want to pay yourself? What and
So
is it a certain amount that you have to? Is it by hourly? Do you have to pay hourly a certain salary? Can you give yourself a percentage? How does that work?
yeah. So as an S corp, what's considered a reasonable amount is like I said, relatively gray area. It's pretty much based on what the average was a reasonable wage for the work that you did that year at that position in that industry, right? And that can be calculated in a number of different ways depending on where you're located. Actually depending on how much work you actually did. You would pay to pay yourself as a business owner. You would just need an EIN number to obviously pay yourself from the business. Sometimes you don't even really need a business account, although it definitely helps with a business banking account.
Yeah.
And then you pay yourself, whatever frequency. If you're doing a one S corp annual payment, which we've seen, you can set it up, monthly basis. Typically, what owner only do, just pay themselves, something every month. Another benefit of doing that, right? So you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to pay yourself six figures. You don't even have to pay yourself, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. Really, you just want to have something consistent so that you have some level of proof of income, and you're also meeting that government required reasonable amount as an S corp, and specifically speaking on S corps. Now, if you're looking to pay yourself as a business owner, you can interested about it, always thought about it, or just curious about what that will look like, you would just pay yourself as as an employee of the business, as a W-2, and then set whatever frequency you like, whatever monetary amount. The biggest thing is being consistent with it.
Okay.
And also think about this, right? Say if, as a business owner, instead of looping everything into the business, right? The house, cars, all lines of credit and things like that. If you're paying yourself a salary as an employee to the business, or an hourly rate as an employee from the business, then you have proof of income individually outside of the business. You can, buy a car, you can rent things. For tax purposes, it also makes it a lot more beneficial as an individual, but also a business owner. Does that make sense?
Yes. I see Tamika shaking her head. I want to hear from you, Tamika, because she's in a car too. Y'all all going somewhere, but it's a holiday weekend, so live it up. Tamika, can you come off mute real quick? I want to hear your feedback. Because you're the only S Corp on the line that I know of. So I want to hear, because I'm not an S Corp, y'all.
Well, I've been an S Corp for the last maybe 29 years, because April will be 30 years since I've been in business. Being an employee of my business, it's worked for me because I'm able, because I'm a W-2, of course, myself and one other employee, because my daughter, she said I wasn't paying her enough money, so she went and opened up a daycare herself. But hey, it worked.
Right.
But hey, we don't have money like that. But anyhow, it works. To me, paying your taxes, my accountant, of course, she handles everything. We get paid once a month. We was doing it every 2 weeks, but I like once a month because it's less paperwork for me, per se. Of course, with quarterly taxes, and then she handles all my, corporation taxes. And of course, I go behind everything because I'm one of those that have to know and have to see, because I like to see my money.
Right. Yeah. So. And you know what you're looking at too. See, that's the thing, Tamika, because even if you watch behind somebody, if you don't know what to look for, they can do whatever, Yes. So it's really about, that's why I love this stuff, because we got to be informed, especially as business owners. And they'll tell you it doesn't take rocket science to be a business owner, but it takes knowing, you got to know the rules of the game, And if you don't know, you're going to lose. So we here trying to get those rules. So Tamika, congratulations on 30 years in business. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That is so amazing. And the fact that you've been paying yourself show that not only are you taking your business seriously, but you separating yourself from the business. And I know it's hard as a business owner because my businesses are my babies. So I don't, it hurts to separate myself, but I know that if I want the business to grow, I have to, it's like having a child. You got to let it go. Like you got to let it grow up, So it's like putting things in place to support it and being brave. So I love your confidence because like Trevor said, the pushback he gets is I'm not there yet. But the reason why we're doing this is because yes, you are. You're there. If you got money coming through your fingers, put it into the system so that you can actually see what it's doing. You can make an impact. And what I love about it, you guys, because I come from the era where, well, it's still the same era, like he said, if you want to apply for anything, the first thing they're going to ask you is, let me see your pay stubs.
Mm-hmm.
And if
That's
you are
exactly it.
in your business, you want them to have something substantial, something substantial to say, hey, I work here, here's how much I get paid, here's something I
Mm-hmm.
depend on. And they can go out into the world and make waves and make decisions and actually change their lives, and the more you do that, the more abundance is going to come, and you can, impact even more people. So I think
Right.
it's a threshold to walk through as a business owner. And I know I feel like I need to do it for myself too, because I need to separate from that, that little cocoon, get the wings. It's time to get the wings. So I'm just really proud. So 30 years, man. I can't even imagine 30 years. Go ahead, Tamika.
And one other thing, it looks good too to have your business separated from your personal, because when you're going out here to apply for these grants, they're gonna ask you, okay, show me all of your business, your statements. They want to see your financial, your flow. They want to see it all, your cash flow. They want to see every bit of it. You have to have it to show them, because they don't want to just give you their money without knowing what you're gonna do with it. They want to know. So
Absolutely.
it works.
I love it. So we gotta do it. Let's talk about the thank you, Tamika, for sharing, because that's definitely a big deal. Because another thing that I learned working with Better Futures, you guys, I post every webinar that we do. So I'm on these classes too. So I'm learning myself. And one thing I hear them talk about a lot is, the imposter syndrome, where, you don't feel like you're there yet, So it's like we have to help people, inspire people, and show them like, hey, it's been done. We can do this. We can move forward, and we can actually grow these businesses and grow the whole industry. So, and with that being said, let's keep on rolling on the different things we got to look out for. Okay. So now, okay, we got to pay ourselves. That's first and foremost. So we want to get that bug in everybody's ear. Pay yourself, pay yourself, pay yourself. And the second thing, let's go on.
Yep. So second thing is very important. Like I said, whether it be wrapping up the end of the year or beginning of the year, because this is when, I'm sure you guys saw this is not to scare anybody, but the IRS hired tens of thousands of new people this year. So the audits are coming, especially, they kind of had bigger fish to fry, so to speak, in COVID years, but now they're coming back. All the PPP scammers are getting caught up on. All the people who weren't doing things the right way, that's kind of coming to light now, and now's the best time to think about compliance. So number 2 on the year-end checklist are I'd familiarize yourself with your state's compliance laws, regulations, especially the ones that may have been updated or brand new in the last 2 years. Some examples of this: workers' compensation regulation. Some states, if you have, these are specifically for people who have employees that aren't, like, if you're owner only, that doesn't apply. Even if you have, like, say, family members that you're paying, or spouses that are also on the payroll or maybe have ownership stake, that doesn't necessarily apply for workers' compensation, because if they get hurt, they're not going to turn around and file a claim for the business that they own. But these are specifically for those with employees, or looking to add W-2 employees in the future. Most states have some sort of regulation or mandate when it comes to workers' compensation. First, like, there are states, for example, Maryland, you just one employees. To be a part-time person, you need it because it's mandated by the state. North Carolina is 3. So if you have one, if you have up to 3, then you don't necessarily, you can't be out of compliance for not having workers' compensation insurance. I believe there are some states that don't have, or for like Washington, you have to go through the state, right? So they make you, but you go through the state. So each state is different. I'm more than happy, I'll make sure I put my information in. If you have specific questions about your specific state, specific local area, I can give you like the full tax breakdown and things to look out for there. No problem. I can do that in a jiffy. But that's very, very important. That's just one of them, right? A lot of states are leaning towards retirement mandates. Now that's employer-sponsored plans. Typically, those employee thresholds are a little higher. In Virginia, it's 23. California, New York, they have specific things. But I at least familiarize yourself, because that's something you could potentially take advantage of, even as a owner only, because some states have free plans like through the state. You don't have to pay for, and some states have penalties if you don't have them. So if you have a certain employee count, I know New York, Virginia, California, those can be thousands of dollars per employee that you're out of compliance for. So, like I said, this is not to scare anybody, but just to make sure you're educated and things like that.
Yeah.
Like benefits compliance, workers' compensation compliance. Some states even have things as far as like mandatory sick leave, family leave, and I know California. I'm mentioning California because they have a lot of regulations. I don't think anybody from California on this call here, but maybe someone who's seen us on Facebook. They even have sexual harassment with having W-2 employees. It does come with a lot more that you have to think about. But that's, like I said, kind of going back to what I mentioned before. That's the reason that you have a ADP or one of our competitors that kind of fall back on and handle all that stuff for you, because there's a lot that you don't know. There's still a lot of stuff you don't know that you don't know. And I wouldn't know if I was in this industry. And another reason that we are happy with the partnership, because anything that I can share that can avoid a letter in the mail, then I think I've done my job. Whether you're a client or not, of ADP at least. We hope everyone's a client of Craft.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. You definitely have to be a Craft member to indulge in this lovely partnership with us and our discounts that we have with ADP. So that's why I'm excited about that, because a lot of our members are coming over and really taking their business to the next level, going into the new year strong. And I'm here for it, you guys, because I'm so excited. When I see all of the success of our members, you guys drive me to do more, because you guys make it possible. That's why I love to kind of bring you guys on and talk about the things that you guys have been doing, because other people need to hear this. And I also want to shine a light on the industry, because there's so many of you guys out there that feel the same way. And we got to get the word out that we're not fragile. We're strong. We're stronger than ever. And like I always say, I know the pandemic is not even over. It was the height of it. Childcare is the workforce behind the workforce. So we have to make sure that we're strong, because we're holding everybody on our backs. So we deserve the same opportunities. We deserve the same benefits. Our employees deserve to want to be here. They deserve to feel like they're valued and appreciated, and have the systems in place that show them that as well. Because that's one thing, working in workforce development, Trevor, I've worked with employers where they'll cash out their employees. And I'm like, wait, I need, where I worked, I needed to see a pay stub. So I was like, we can't do that.
That's a big thing, Latoya, that we run into.
The job.
Because think about it this way. If I'm a employee and I'm coming in my first week, I'm not having to fill out any information, not an I-9, not a W-4. I'm not giving them any information. I'm getting paid, check, Zelle, or what have you. I'm treating this as like not a career, but just a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people, it's easy to complain about talent's hard to keep, and good people are hard to find. But also, as a business owner, you have to give them a bit, a reason to buy into the culture of the business. And it could just be you and one other person, right? And that's completely fine. But each business builds their own culture. Each business has their own set of rules and guidelines. And that is what exactly it is. No one works to do anything for free, as much as we love to live in a society where we don't need money, and we can do what we all dream of, and live our dreams. And I think a lot of you guys are living your dreams, and I commend you for that. But at the end of the day, the life you need to stay on, and you need to give the kids a safe place to learn and flourish. And that starts with being a profitable business, and getting the right people in place. And a lot of that is having those systems that you mentioned when you started off. And a rather easy one is having a proper payroll in place. And it's like I said, this could be just as little as one part-time person that comes in maybe 2-3 times a week, or 15 hours a week or 30 hours every 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel a lot more empowered to do my job, and also a lot more secure that my money's coming if I have an ADP or something on a mobile app that I can check my pay stub and say, hey, can I come and see, can I get a pay stub? I'm trying to do my taxes. And you're like, hey, I ain't got nothing for you.
Right. And you're right. Like I remember being an employee where when I was in college, I was working for this small business owner. He didn't want to pay me, but when he did, he paid me in a paper check. So I went to the bank and that thing bounced on me. So you already know I was Olivia. I was a college student, I was hungry and I'm banking on this money, and there it is.
Need
so
that money.
Exactly. I didn't even want to go back. It left a bad taste in my mouth. Then I've had where I go and like I was the employee at the place, and oh no, that's not what I was gonna say. I have a client where she has had been in business for about 15 years, and she says about 80% of her staff have been there over 10 plus. So I was like, I want to pick her brain. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is the secret sauce to keeping people this long? And she talked about having things automated, making your employees feel valued and feel safe, providing professional development opportunities for them. Employee appreciation. Shout out to Wendy Dantzler of she has a whole business surrounding employee appreciation. She's actually been featured on the show as well, and talking about benefits and also bonuses. All of those different things count. Now, sometimes people feel like, well, I can't do all of that. Now, here's the reason why I love to talk about that, because it's all cute about giving bonuses, but I believe it should be tied to performances, because you have some great people in your center. And what gets on my nerves as an employee when I was, working for people is I'm busting my chops, and the person next to me ain't doing nothing, and we all getting bonuses. Where they do that at? Like, that makes a person feel undervalued. If they could do the bare minimum and still get what I'm getting, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? So I try to talk to business owners and talk about having performance-based not benefits, excuse me, performance-based bonuses, because that will really show a person that we appreciate what you're doing. We see, because that's the big deal. A lot of times in ECE, it feels like you're not seen. It feels like you just got me over here doing quote unquote the dirty work. You know what I mean? So you could go ahead and go to lunch. No, we see what you're doing and we recognize it. It just gives people something to strive towards. So when you guys do benefits and bonuses, how do you guys talk about that with your business owners as far as their budget? How are they able to kind of, add these things in when it comes to working with a payroll system? Because I know you guys can take out everything. You can put in, you can take out, you can do child support payments, everything, right?
Yeah, and we integrate. One thing I love about ADP, and probably, I would never go to anywhere else, but one thing I love about our system is that we are constantly evolving and integrating everything, right? So you can integrate the payroll with your accounting platform. You can integrate our payroll platform. And I keep in mind, we do a lot of this stuff in-house ourselves too. Like, say if you're looking to have your retirement, health, workers' comp, time and attendance, scheduling, all this stuff, we can integrate that. We have products like that, so you can have truly a one-stop shop for your human capital management platforms. But the biggest thing is, even if you a la carte everything, right, you need some sort of spine, some sort of backbone to dish everything out from when it comes to
system.
employees and contractors. So say if you have a retirement plan through a broker that you really like, or health insurance from a broker that you really like, you don't have to get that through us. We can manually send the deductions on behalf of you. Say if you have an employee that has child support, alimony, things like that, we can automate that payment to the county of which the court case is in. So you're not having to take out the money, write a check, mail it over. Like, cause trust me, I'll tell you a little quick story. I had a client this year that had a guy with 9 child support cases. Ooh. And I'm not judging nobody. 9 child support cases. I mean, after his check, after everyone gets their piece, I don't know how the man was living, but the person, the admin and the owner, they were taking out the money manually, and they were in different counties too, so they were manually writing every week, and they got paid every week, manually writing things to the county. I come in, I tell them, hey, you don't have to do that. You can integrate that through our system. I just need the core document. We'll put it on file, and we'll automate the payment. We'll send it straight to them. Stuff like that, is good. And obviously that's a special case. Everyone's not gonna, have alimony payments, child support, but things of that nature, whether it be benefits or whether it be just say your timekeeping platform, which is timely. A lot of ECs have hourly workers. Instead of having, writing it down and signing a sheet at the end of the day or going through Excel or something like that, you can have a system where you can have clock in and clock out from a kiosk or from the ADP mobile app, where you're geofencing the location or the center so that they can't clock in from down the street, or they can't, have somebody buddy punch for them. You can even have biometrics and go as far as that, and you can integrate through the platform, so that by the time you're ready to process the payroll, everything's down to the second that they've actually worked. You just have to double check, make sure nothing says somebody worked 200 hours throughout the course of a week, and
Right.
you're good. So the technology is there, the integration is there. My main job is just to educate and make sure that I can meet you where you are. Like you said before, price should never be a reason that you don't take the next step with your business, or take the next step in making sure you're compliant, or take the next step and make sure that you're not having to go out of your way to double check numbers and filings and stuff like that. And that kind of segues to the third thing, but I just want to make sure I put a bow on what you asked me.
Well, good. I just got something in the chat. I want her to share. Rebecca, can you share that experience?
Yeah, Trevor was talking about the timekeeper. I had someone that worked for me over the summer, and I learned about the timekeeper, and it was awesome because you can set the boundary as to when they can clock in. Like, they can't clock in if they 10 miles from your house. You can set it where they have to clock in at your location, or a mile from your house, or something like that. You can set how they clock in and how they clock out. So it was great. And that was the first time I heard about it, but it was great.
That's the first time I'm hearing about it. I'm like, I didn't know y'all did that. Okay.
Yeah, you send them the app, you put the information in, they send them app, they download the app on their phone, and then you control, like I say, when they can clock in. So like you said, they can't have their best friend clock in for them. They can't clock in from home. So if you set it to clock in at the location, that's the only time they can clock in and clock out. They can clock in once they get out in the driveway, once they get down the street. They have to be at the location to clock in and out.
Oh my gosh, thanks, Rebecca, for that testimony. I love that, because I didn't even know y'all did that. But those are the types of things put in place in a business that holds a person. Yep, she said no cheating the time. That's right. It holds a person accountable. And I'm telling you guys, I mean, in general, when you are held accountable, you do better. You notice when you have a strict teacher, you get there on time. You know what I mean? The teachers that don't care or don't say anything, you're like, oh, I should be all right. I'll get there when I get there. But them strict teachers that be waiting at the door with the stick, you're like, oh, I gotta go to Miss Briggs' class because you already know how she get. So I'm telling you, you gotta have some boundaries up in there, and it does just feel good. It's just, it feels secure as an employee too, to have those things in place for yourself, so you get credit, so you're not getting gypped too. Let's say you work Thursday and it's not on your check. You're like, wait, it go to the app right here. It says I worked Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You know what I mean? What happened? And you can check back into it. So it's a two-sided accountability, little clause in there. So I love that. Oh my gosh, we already at 2:00, you guys. Now listen, we have more of this checklist, you guys. So what we're gonna do is, everybody that registered today, everybody that came online, is definitely going to get the checklist. Email them to them, and it's gonna show you the full list of all the different things you really look into, with the deadlines, with your compliance, with your business, just to realize, just get in tip-top shape so we can kick some butt in 2024. Because the ones who, what they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we got a plan. Trevor, any last minute things you want to say before we get on out of here?
No, I do appreciate everyone's time. Like I said, I apologize that I'm on the go, but shout out to Verizon, LTE, and ADP for hooking me up with this. But one thing I would say, towards the end of the year, 70% of the businesses that we see around the country do their evaluations for all vendors. I implore everyone to look at ways to put things into one and look at ways to give yourself more time with the kids, more time with your family, more time away from having to stress about anything really. That being said, that starts with taking a look at everything you're doing. So that's my, and I'd say that to all business owners, but especially you all in ECE. Look, evaluate everything you're currently doing. I mean, take some time, look, see what's out there. Anything that we can do to help, especially on the payroll side. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I can assist with that if you need. But and reach out to Craft and lean on Craft to get you those resources to get some time back into your day.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank you so much for being here. And even with your road trip, I wish you safe travels on your road and everything, and have a lot of fun when you get there. You guys, it's a holiday weekend, so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that came on today. Thank you to all the craft members. We really love you. We adore you. We could not do this without you. We do this with you, by you, for you, because we want to see the same thing you want to see. We want to see a better tomorrow, a better future for our children, our children's children, and the generations to come. And we are the gatekeepers of the new generation. So why not start here? So you guys, as you know, if you're not a craft member, definitely go to our website today at www.betterfuturesdc.com and get yourself a membership. We got a whole new suite for you guys. Right now, I'm showing you what our deal with ADP, our members, our craft members. This is only for members, you guys. You cannot get this deal if you are not a craft member. So go ahead and get your craft membership and mosey on over. Go ahead and click this link. Well, not click the link, but scan the link, scan the QR code, and it'll take you to our questionnaire and get a little bit more information from you to figure out how we can help you run your business a lot smoother, healthier, and take some things off your plate. Okay, because the time that you are giving to all of these spreadsheets and all this extra work, you could be working on your business. You could be better suited in the strategic piece of your business and not tactical. We talk about that, the SMT model, in all of our classes. So scan the QR code and let's get you started today so that you can get a consultation, complimentary consultation with Trevor, so he can go through your business respectfully and figure out how we can help you to clean it all up and get you right on time in compliance right before the new year, and you can walk, I should say, sashay into 2024 with that monkey off your back, because we already know that we got things in place and we're going places. All right. I want to give a special thanks to the founders of Craft by Better Futures, and that's Better Futures, Dr. Robert Gunling and Mr. Jahi B. Davis, MBA. They are on another call right now. They are training. They always training all over the place. So they're not here right now, but I just want to give a shout out to them. Shout out to all the people on the line today. Linda, welcome to the team. I'm so glad to have you in the building. We got everybody that shared today. We're going to go into the weekend. Have a great one. And I will see y'all soon at the next craft class. Bye, guys.